The first hour and a half of this show was everything I can't stand about this company. The last half an hour was everything I used to love about this company because it's everything I know it could and should still be. You guys realize over on Monday Night Raw, there is nothing on that 3-hour show every Monday night, nothing that is captivating the Amplified Man. There are no storylines on Monday Night Raw that are piquing my interest or my curiosity. Nothing. I watched 3 hours of Monday Night Raw like a freak. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys do the same, because I would pose a question to anybody out there. What is captivating you on Monday Night Raw? And then you look at the flip side, SmackDown. They got several things going on. Bayley and Sasha Banks piques your interest. Where are they headed with this? Will it be rushed into Hell in a Cell? Sasha wind up at the Royal Rumble winning that and taking on Bayley next year's WrestleMania. Do they take on each other at Royal Rumble? Where are they headed? Does Bayley attack again? Does Sasha strike next? Told beautifully. Some may say too long, but beautifully nonetheless. Sasha and Bayley makes you wonder. The possibilities. It piques your interest. Alexa Bliss and the Fiend. Arguably, some are saying Alexa Bliss was the best part of the show last night. That's what I'm seeing in some comment sections along journalists and columnists and dirt sheets. Everybody was really high on Alexa Bliss. Everybody is now starting to see the possibilities that you could do with her and the Fiend. They weren't seeing it before. I've been an advocate for this from day one. But now people are starting to see how good this could be. Just from what happened last night. Alexa and the Fiend, what happens with this? It piques your curiosity. It's got your interest. Even if just a sliver, it's got your interest. Bayley and Sasha, Alexa and the Fiend. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Roman does the deed last night. Roman is now a bona fide heel. There's no going back. Even the piped-in noise last night in the Thunderdome was all boos. They all wanted to make sure that you knew he was a heel. He Superman punches Jey, and then he talks that trash in his face, his own cousin, down and out, and he's talking that shit and the piped in boos. Finally, we don't have to play this tweener bullshit anymore. Now you keep adding to this every week, and I promise you, this will be, as I promised you from day one, and I would not let you guys down, this will be the best version of Roman Reigns you will ever see. I promised you this. Better than the Shield, I assure you. What you saw last night was already the best Roman Reigns version we've ever seen. Talking that shit in Jey Uso's mug. The look, he's not even really looking at Paul. He kind of glances that way. Like, trust me, I know what needs to be done and I'm gonna do it. And Paul's looking back at Roman like, I know you got this under control. I know you know what to do. So even this cousin storyline, which from day one, when Jey Uso ended up becoming that number one contender, I was one of the very few in the community that was down with that, because I did say that story's sitting in their lap. This is a filler match for Roman. Roman's going into the Clash just to whoop that ass and keep that championship. So instead of having him just bury singles talent, Jey Uso, it's no harm, no foul. The dude's in a tag team. This is the most relevancy Jey Uso has seen in his career. Jey loses nothing from this. Roman gets a big victory and a storyline we care about. Cousin versus cousin. And he gets to build. So I was down with this from day one. I wanted this to be Roman attacks Jey Uso before Clash of Champions, though. So I wanted it from day one. A lot of you guys wanted it to be at Clash, after the match or some shit. Or maybe he attacks him in the locker room before the match. Or you guys had your own theories. So we all met in the middle. It wasn't at the Clash. It wasn't week 1. But we got it last night. That Superman punch knocked out Jey Uso. And now, I gotta say, I'm pretty sure most of us, even if it's just a sliver, we're interested to see Jey Uso's response. And his response is going to have to come Sunday night. That Universal Championship, and attempts to extract revenge on his cousin for knocking him the fuck out. So you have Sasha and Bayley, you have Alexa and the Fiend, you have Roman and Jey. I mean, these are all things captivating us on the Blue brand. And over on Monday Night Raw, with an extra hour, they aren't giving us anything. They're making us more confused by the minute on that show. Over on SmackDown, there's things happening that are making us wonder, where is this headed in a positive way? Our own creative juices start to spin. Over on Raw, we're wondering things in a negative way. How can this become more stupid? How are they going to make this more silly? How could this possibly get more nonsensical? Unfortunately for SmackDown, there was an hour and a half before that last half an hour that was absolutely befuddling, typical WWE-esque BS. And on this review, we call it all out. So as much as I'm happy about and ecstatic about the last half an hour, we have to discuss the first hour and a half. So I'm going to down the rest of this coffee, and that's exactly what we're going to do in about 10 or 15 seconds. The show starts with Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy all in the middle of the ring for the Ascension ceremony. This is where both IC titles will be strapped to the bar and lifted up high. And because WWE has residency in the Thunderdome, those titles will legit be hanging there until Sunday night. We had good promos by all three dudes, actually. But WWE just couldn't help themselves. They had to find a way to fuck it all up. And that's exactly what they did. After Sami takes out both Styles and Hardy with a ladder, suit and tie Adam Pearce hits the top of the ramp as if he has any authority, but lately it seems like he is waving his Harry Potter wand a little bit more and demanding shit. And he declares that all three dudes will have a triple threat match right now. And I'm thinking, but wait, what the fuck? That's the Clash of Champions match in 2 nights. All you're missing is the ladder. Why would you give this match away 2 nights before your advertised title match? The match was 10 minutes long and decent. Nothing more than decent. And now you just gave away your title match for free. This now becomes just another rematch in what I call Clash of Rematches. Because the whole card is nothing but rematches. At least 6 matches out of the 8 main card matches, they're rematches. And not just something you've seen before, but multiple times for many of them. Like Apollo versus Lashley. Street Profits versus Garza and Andrade. Shinsuke and Cesaro versus the Lucha Summer College House Party. We've seen these matches more than once. Some of them more than twice, 3 times. This was one of the rare matches we hadn't seen before, and it was already a multi-man schmaz, so I was already not invested into this from the jump, but at least it's a match we haven't seen. Cross that off the box. I don't care if there's a ladder involved or not. I just saw a triple threat match between the same people I'm going to be seeing a triple threat match with this Sunday night. So now you can make it 6 or 7 rematches this Sunday night. 6 or 7 at least are rematches out of 8 main card matches. Main card. They're all on the fucking main card. For some reason, they put Asuka and Zelina on the kickoff show. Don't even get me started. I already went over the preview, guys. There's a video I put up yesterday. It's an uncensored preview. I tell you my exact thoughts on how I feel about Asuka and Zelina being on the kickoff. I tell you my exact thoughts on Clash of Rematches. Add this now. Somehow they found a way 48 hours before the event to add another rematch. Good backstage segment next between Heavy Machinery and Miz and Morrison. Tucker asks Miz why it's only his name on the lawsuit and not Morrison's. So Morrison looks at Miz like, dude, what? Like, you're not protecting me? And Otis's eyes light up and Otis puts a whooping on Morrison. I like this. I was doing some thinking last night and I thought one of the rare storylines going into Mania and even coming out of Mania was an interesting cast of characters. It was Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Dolph Ziggler, and Otis. You guys remember that storyline? It was multi-months in length, but it kept me interested. The story actually flowed nicely, and these four individuals carried it on their shoulders. And you're thinking Dolph, who's been irrelevant for fucking years, and Otis, Sonya, and Mandy. I mean, enough said, right? They haven't exactly been booked prestigiously. But these four together, it was some fun storytelling. And now here I see Otis involved with Miz and Morrison. Last week, I legit LOL'd. A WWE show actually drove emotion out of me. Like sheer, pure emotion. That very rarely ever happens. But I legit LOL'd with the segment with Miz and Morrison. And Otis looking like a beast too, putting a whooping on them. And last night, I'm looking at, I'm into what they were saying with one another. And Tucker realizing that it's just Miz's name on that. Morrison playing it off like, dude, what the fuck? Miz is like, sorry, man. I gotta look out for myself. And Otis's eyes just telling a million words, man, just in that look. And then he puts, I just like this, man. That's 2 weeks in a row. And my point is this. At what point do I have to start looking at the common denominator? Maybe Otis is just that good, not just wrestling-wise, which for a big boy, he's pretty fucking decent, isn't he? But just as a character and being able to hold a storyline on your shoulders, Otis is the real deal. Or at least from what I've seen from this dude from day one. He's the real thing, man. He's the real deal. So I liked Otis from day one. Now, I got to start looking at Otis in a whole different way, though. I got to start looking at him like a possible future top dog in this company. I can't say I looked at him as such before. I was high on him. Not one of the main players. But no, man, he could possibly be. And Tucker works well with him, so I don't know how that would work. I don't want to see them necessarily separated. Maybe you just make them an actual legit tag team, man. You know, I know that's not WWE's strong suit. They've done everything they could to destroy their tag division. But maybe they find a way to really build this team up to be one of the best of all time. Just saying! The capability's there. They're actually good fucking wrestling talent. They can carry storylines. They got the character. Just a wild concept, guys. I know that's a little side rant, but I was just thinking about that last night, man. Otis is really, man, this guy's gold. Bayley is seated at the top of the ramp cutting a promo, but the static in the Thunderdome, because production is a bunch of buffoons, makes it impossible to hear what she is saying. Bayley's promo, she's at the top of the ramp sitting down. So it needs to be more matter-of-fact, more lower-toned, right? Because she's more methodical in her approach. After what she just did to Sasha and what she's about to do to Nikki Cross. The problem is, they lowered her microphone like they do to all of the talent, even the commentators, and they have pumped up the static in the Thunderdome to create the illusion that there's fans in attendance and they're loud, they're vocal, there's a lot of noise, there's energy in the Thunderdome, when in reality, it's just static, and it is drowning out your talent and what they're saying, their message. I literally could not tell you what she said about Nikki Cross or Sasha Banks last night. I was frustrated, and it was nauseating to listen to Bayley, and it's not even Bayley's fault. But she's talking like a fucking mouse would be on the floor, and you're standing over that mouse, and you're like, what? What'd you say? Speak a little louder? And you can't just turn up the volume, because you're just going to turn up the static. So I literally just had to lower it to the point where I couldn't hear the static anymore. And unfortunately, at that point, I could no longer hear Bayley. That's how I watched that promo. I didn't know what she was saying. I can't be the only one who's noticing this. The microphone, there's no amplification in the microphone. And again, I know Bayley's promo needed to be more matter of the fact and lower toned. You still need to hear it loudly. Otherwise, what's the point of a microphone? It sounds like just two friends at a bar. You know, a noisy bar. You can barely hear one another. Sometimes you just can't. Most of the time, though, you can make out some words and you're yelling at one another. The problem is, we're not friends. You are a pro wrestler cutting a promo. I shouldn't have to have my ear locked to the TV speaker to try to make out what you're saying. That thing was a bust. Not even Bayley's fault. Not even Bayley's fault, man. This Thunderdome production is bullshit. Lower that static because it's only nauseating inducing anyway. It's ear piercing. And pump up your wrestlers' microphones. We need to hear the promos, dude. Jey Uso was better at the end of the night because Jey Uso's character is more amped, more fucking energetic. You know, he's always pumped up. Thankfully. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to hear Jey Uso either at the end of the night. It's just pathetic. I ranted on this for like 15 minutes a couple weeks ago. They have not fixed the problem, and now it's to the point where I literally have to mute the fucking promo because I'm not going to sit through 5 minutes of sheer static. Our number one ends with Shinsuke Nakamura versus Metalik. Of course, we're getting this match because they have a tag title match Sunday. So this is how this company builds to a title match. Let's have them in the middle of the ring facing each other beforehand. Do you guys realize we have already seen Cesaro and Shinsuke versus the Summer College House Party twice before, just within the last month and a half. Twice we've seen that tag match. 3 different weeks we've seen Cesaro take on every single one of the House Party individually, and then last night we're seeing Shinsuke start to do that. So we have seen them 6 or 7 times already in the last month and a half. And that's supposed to get you excited to pay money to see them again Sunday night. Do it again! Because yay! We're gonna do it again Sunday. Same people, same matches. We're WWE. Hour number 2, guys. Jey Uso starts the hour off calling out Roman Reigns as he wants to know about the look that Roman gave him last week. Instead, he gets Paul Heyman backstage, who promises Jey Uso that there will be a face-to-face meeting between the two later in the night. So at least that builds a little bit of suspense. All right, there is going to be something happening between Jey and Roman. I was just glad that they didn't put them in another nonsensical tag team match, you know? And it ends with Jey walking off smiling, and Roman kind of looks at him like, you bastard, I'm going to get you at the Clash. You know, we've already saw that last week. It was good. But now we have to take it to the next level. So I was glad we didn't get some stupid tag match. Paul Heyman is promising a face-to-face meeting with Jey Uso, and Jey's going to get his answer as to why Roman looked at him the way he did last week. Next was a 15-minute match between Baron Corbin and Matt Riddle. A rematch from Payback. Because this company, the thing they do best is rematches. Don't believe me? Look at the pay-per-view this Sunday night. It's literally called Clash of Rematches. So we get Baron Corbin and Matt Riddle. Commentary keeps building up how important this victory would be for Matt Riddle. And in the end, Riddle eats an end of days and Corbin wins. So it's almost like commentary kept digging the hole further and further for Matt Riddle to lie in. They were building this up like the dude can't lose. And in the end, he just loses. End of days. Post-match, Riddle gives Kayla Braxton a I won't give up speech. What the are we really going to make Matt Riddle? Are we giving Matt Riddle the underdog storyline? Matt Riddle is going to be the next Daniel Bryan? Stop it! He can't beat Baron. Didn't he already beat Baron Corbin? I don't... Now, at this point, I know most of us are ready to tap out, right? I mean, this last week's SmackDown was actually good. This one, up to this point, has just been the usual train wreck that we're used to. And you're just thinking, okay, a half an hour left, and this can just be... This is about as fun as a trip to the dentist. It's a typical WWE show, right? But the last half an hour comes through huge, man. And it starts with Alexa Bliss versus Lacey Evans. Now I know, if you didn't watch the show, you're thinking, wow, BC, did you just say the last half an hour was actually good? And it's Lacey Evans versus Alexa? That's exactly what I'm saying. Hear me out. The Fiend is interjected several times during this match, from his laughter to the lights dimming to the red to his image appearing on the Tron. Alexa became transfixed and began destroying Lacey Evans, no longer adhering to the ref's instructions and subsequently getting disqualified. So all that I thought was beautiful. Post-match, Alexa delivers another badass Sister Abigail to Lacey Evans. She then walks off with a sinister grin. At this time, Roman Reigns' music hits because Roman is about to hit the ring to address Jey Uso. So Roman cross paths with Alexa. Roman and Paul Heyman do their little pose at the top of the ramp, not knowing that Alexa is behind them. Alexa looks back to Roman Reigns with evil in her eyes, mean-mugging Roman Reigns, and making you think maybe the Fiend in Roman is not finished. You did the Fiend wrong, and we haven't forgotten. You fucked with the Fiend, you fuck with me. And that's the way Alexa was looking at Roman, and I just loved it, man. It was such an iconic image, and I saw that image everywhere. Journalists, columnists, dirt sheets, content creators, everybody was using that image because it's iconic. It's one of those images that'll live on forever for Alexa Bliss. It's one of those iconic images that all of us will remember. Because that's some of Alexa Bliss's best work, and it just, man, it was just beautifully done. And that wasn't even it, man. That was just to set up Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, which was the finish to SmackDown. And it was absolutely brilliant, this finish. Roman delivers a stern message to Jey Uso. Why he looked at him the way he did, and what's going to happen Sunday. Roman walks off. Jey starts talking again and pretty much stops Roman in his tracks. And Jey literally says, and I quote, "Why am I not good enough? Why can't I feed my family or do it on my own accord?" He tells Roman, I love this, how he did this. He talks about Roman's success and how he's had the main events and the championships and all the adulation. He had it all. And he says, you know what I get, Oos? You know what I always get? Which one are you? That was his quote. He goes, all I ever get is being asked, which one are you? Of course, him and Jimmy being twins, that's all he ever got his whole life. And here's cousin Roman getting main events and titles and on all the magazines and being in movies with The Rock. Which one are you? Man, if that didn't pull on your fucking emotional heartstrings, man, like, damn, like, that's real life shit. Anybody that knows twins, I used to go to school with a set of twins, and that's what they would always tell me. They said the one bad part about being a twin is that you don't really have your own identity, or people don't look at you as such. They always think of you with the other. So, man, I just love that line. Something about that line, man. Man, captivating line. You know, and what I mean by captivating is that moments after the line was said, I was still thinking about it. Here we are this morning, I'm still thinking about it. Just an awesome line, man. And that's... Fuck. But it got better. It got better. Uso makes a proclamation and then heads to the back, because once he said that, man, you could tell Roman was kind of like, all right, enough of this heartfelt story. You know, I'm out of here. Roman and Paul walk off. So Jey drops the mic after he's done. He goes to walk to the back, turns around, Superman punch out of nowhere like an RKO. And I was hoping it was going to happen. When I saw Jey going up, man, I'm like, oh, Superman. Not even a spear, Superman punch. Just a knockout. And they did it. They fucking did it, bro. Roman, Superman punch out of nowhere. Jey Uso's knocked out. Roman gets on top of him, lifts his head as he's knocked out, and he starts talking that trash. He starts screaming, this isn't just for my family or your family. It's for everybody. I'm the top dog for everybody. I have to support everybody. Yelling this. Like, you don't realize the pressure and the stress and the burden that's on my shoulders. This isn't just for my family. It's so all of our family can eat. Loved it, man. He's like, you want to try to take this title from me, you're going to have to take the ass whooping that comes with it. This is some of the best promo work that Roman has ever done, and it wasn't even a promo. He wasn't even on the mic. He's just yelling at Jey, his cousin, who he just knocked out. That was just as good as the knockout punch. Him screaming over him, and then he stands up and he gives that side look to Paul. He won't even look at Paul in his face. That is heel mannerism 101. That sinister look where you just have it's like telepathic, just, you know what the other is thinking. Paul knows what Roman's thinking or is about to do. Roman is side-looking Paul. Like, I told you this would be done. Now make sure the next thing is lined up, you know, and Paul's like, I got everything taken care of. Man, everything you are seeing is now full throttle heel. This is all I've asked for. Thank you. Only took 4 years. This was great. This was great, man. And I told you, we're already seeing the best Roman we have ever seen. Already, on day one. Because this is the official Roman heel turn. It wasn't before that. And then they piped in all the boos in the Thunderdome to make sure there was not a shadow of a doubt he's no longer a tweener, right? It was all boos. There was not any cheering. Fucking love it. I'm sure Roman's going to have his fans, obviously. And if this is done correctly, I promise you guys, I promised every Roman Reigns fan out there that I was never throwing shade at him. I promised you guys that if they do this heel run correctly, in about a year and a half only, maybe a year, you're going to have, if they want to, one of the best faces going forward. Because people will love this dude. Because we're going to see the best of him. You gotta come to terms with the truth. As a face and as a tweener, half of your audience just did not care about this dude. But we all said the same thing. If you turn him heel, there's something there. We could probably be on board with this. Because I knew there'd be a ruthless side of him, almost like Triple H-esque. Not saying Triple H status quo-esque. And we saw that after he knocked him out, and he was so ruthless in screaming at his cousin who's already knocked out. That's what I want. The look or non-look that he gives Paul. All of these things are going to make this guy a fucking beast of a heel. I just hope they keep doing it. You know, they gotta have consistency. I love this, man. Alexa and the Fiend, I can't wait to see where they go with this. I hope they don't fuck it up, but I'm along for this journey, man. It's quite the adventure, and I hope the final destination does it justice. Bayley and Sasha, wherever they take this, I'm on board. This is a pro Sasha Banks channel. I fucking love Sasha Banks. We're seeing the best of Bayley, as in the last 4 to 5 months. This is the best Bayley I've ever seen. Right up there with NXT Bayley, and I think even better. And, of course, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. I said from day one, this is a story that sits in their lap as long as they don't fuck it up. They haven't fucked it up. It's actually going pretty good. I would have had Roman Reigns clock them on day one. They went a different way, but at least they didn't wait till the Clash. Now we all get to go to the Clash, and we're anticipating something even better than we originally thought going into it. It's not just two cousins with friction, and maybe Roman roughs them up at the end of the match. No, we're going into it with Roman just turning on his cousin. That's what I mean about a storyline. You don't do the storyline at the event. You do a storyline building up to the event. Crazy concept. I know. So there's a lot on SmackDown, man, that has me pretty excited to see what happens next. And I can't say that I've felt that way about WWE for years. 3 separate things right now. And even Otis is entertaining me with this whole fucking Miz and Morrison thing. Sure, it's at a low point, but it's at least interesting me a little bit. So SmackDown still has the potential, nowhere near the show it was last week, but that last half an hour, fuck! That last half an hour was better than anything I saw last week. So, fuck, if they can just get their ball bearings in order, man, get their ducks lined up in a row and have more consistency, SmackDown could blow Raw out of the water. And SmackDown could be an actual good wrestling show like it used to be. Anyway, I've yapped it up enough, man. You talk about the gift to gab and you mix in 3 coffees and you got the Ant-Man all amped up. Hopefully I didn't blow my mic out too much, guys, and you guys were able to understand me throughout this entire video in review. Unlike listening to fucking promos in the Thunderdome, which I can't fucking make out what the wrestlers are saying. Please, Vince, lower that static and pump up your talent's microphone. I would like to hear what they're saying. Crazy concept. Much love, guys. That's the content for the week, man. We go into the Clash, and I really do hope, even though we have a lot of fun with it, and even though it is befuddling, and even though the card on paper does suck, I truly hope it's a good event. I truly hope I can come in front of you guys on Monday morning with the good, the bad, and the ugly review and talk great stuff. I really do. Don't hold your breath. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I wish I could do that. No matter what, good, bad, or ugly, I will see you guys Monday morning, and we will talk all about the clash of rematches. Let's whoop the rest of this weekend's ass, amplified style, baby! Check you later.